Hi, I'm Regina Reese.
And I'm McKeely Brown, and welcome to We Are Takoma, here to inform Takoma Park residents about city services and resources.
Today we're talking about the Safe Routes to School program. Now, what began as an international program made its way over to the U.S. in 1970s as a way to encourage more students to walk and bike to school safely. Our special guest is Lucy Nair. She is the Takoma Park coordinator of the Safe Routes to School program. Lucy, thank you for being with us today. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in. As far as students being able to walk to school safely, as well as biking to school safety, but could you also elaborate on that for us?
Okay, well, Safe Routes to School is a federally funded program. In the state of Maryland, the money comes through the State Highway Administration, and different entities can apply for the grant, which Takoma Park has gotten for 5 years in a row. So the aim is to encourage families to choose to walk or bike to school as opposed to driving in a car.
And what are some of the schools in Takoma Park that are participating in the program?
Well, this is the great thing about the program here in Takoma Park. I have worked with the same 5 schools for 5 years. So students have benefited from the various programs that I do over a longer period of time. We have East Silver Spring Elementary, Rolling Terrace Elementary, Takoma Park Elementary, Piney Branch Elementary, and Takoma Park Middle School participating. The program serves kids kindergarten to 8th grade.
Is it open to all schools, I guess, in Takoma Park or in Maryland?
Well, we chose the schools in Takoma Park, that served our students, our residents. That's why we have East Silver Spring and Rolling Terrace, because some of the students at those schools are residents of Takoma Park. We did originally work with 2 private schools, but they didn't have any walkers, nor would they ever have walkers, because all of their students are bused from a wider catchment area. I mean, if another school were interested and they were in the city, yes, I could offer programming at those schools. On the county level, there's also a Safe Routes coordinator who serves other schools in the county, but she serves different schools every year. So she chooses 10 or 11 schools each year and then works with different schools each grant year.
Now, I know that there's a lot of children that participate. What are the activities?
Safe Routes has an infrastructure side and a programming side, and mostly I work on the programming side. The planning department and housing and community development has always done the infrastructure part. That includes sidewalks and traffic calming and things like that. So I do a whole variety of programs for various grade levels. In the K to 2 range, I do a crosswalk simulation program. That's to teach kids how to safely cross the street. And then when they're a little older, the 3 to 5th graders, I do a bike rodeo with them. And at the middle school, believe it or not, we have a skateboarding program, because the principal at Takoma Park Middle School counted one day 30 students skateboarding to school. So that is using a skateboard as transportation, which is different than going to the skate park and doing tricks. This, we need to focus on safe practices, helmet use, things like that.
You made mention to the crosswalk simulation.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually have a clip of one of your more recent simulations, and we'll play that right now.
Are you
Our mom or dad says, time for school, let's walk today. So we're all gonna walk. So what do we do when we get to the yellow box? We stop. Then we look to the
right?
no
Left!
and we look to the
Right!
and we look to the
Left!
again. Now, please sing with me when
Are
we
we going to
cross.
pretend that we are sisters and brothers?
Stop. All right, we're gonna look to the. Say it loud and clear.
Left!
Look to the.
Right!
Look to the.
Left!
Is it safe to cross? No. Okay, let's try it again. Look to the.
Left!
Look to the
Right.
Look to the
Left.
Is it safe to cross?
Yeah.
All right, sing with me. Walk in the middle of the crosswalk. Walk in the middle of the crosswalk. Okay, excellent job. Except for
So we just saw a clip from one of your more recent crosswalk simulations. What is it like working with the kids, and how does that work for you?
Well, I love getting out into the schools and being with the kids. The crosswalk simulation was an idea I had because I wanted to do something more hands-on. We can tell the students every day, look before you cross the street, look both ways, look left, right, left, but are they really listening? After a while, the same message, they needed to do something hands-on, something interactive. So I developed this program where we make a crosswalk on the gym floor, and I had special props made of vehicles and stop signs and pedestrian crossing signs, and that allows the students to take a turn, being a car or being a pedestrian, and we go through an activity that hopefully they will remember when it's time to cross the real street. So it's fun and engaging, and we sing a little song that I hope gets stuck in their head, and then they'll remember when it's time to cross what they did at school and try to use that information when they're crossing on a day-to-day basis.
I know you mentioned that it's a federal program. What do you use the grant money for?
Well, the grant money that we've gotten, on the infrastructure side, we've put in the new sidewalk on Grant Avenue that runs between the city building and Piney Branch Elementary and all the way up to Holly. We've put in a calming island on Maple Avenue near Sligo Creek Parkway. And also this year, an exciting use of the infrastructure funds is I'll be putting skateboard, scooter, and bike racks in at all 5 of the schools, so that kids who do choose to ride a non-motorized vehicle to school can have a place to lock it up.
Well, that's awesome.
Right.
Are
And
there
then on
any-
the programming side, the money funds, of course, my position, but also any thing that I produce print-wise, a brochure, newsletter, of lots of materials for the 5K race, which we need to talk a little bit more about. And then incentive items, I like to give the kids something also that they'll use day to day. Leg bands for when they're riding their bike that are reflective, bike bells, blinking lights that they can put on their backpack or their jacket to make them visible, so that when they're out walking to school, sometimes it's dark in the morning or late in the afternoon when they're on their way home, they can be seen by motorists.
Just a quick question, Kim. What is one of the challenges that you face as far as trying to get a school on board to participate in the Safe Routes program?
Well, initially, I did feel like a nuisance going to school, talking with the principals, talking with the PTA, telling them what the program was about. And so I developed this idea of the 5K challenge, which is a 5K road race where I invited all the schools to participate, and now I do have all 5 participating, where the students, staff, parents could all train to run a 5K. We also have events, a 1-mile event and a 1/4 mile and a 5K walk, so that it would be a big event, a banner event, for branding, so that then people would know this is Safe Routes. And it's a vehicle for me to talk about pedestrian safety and bike safety with the parents, to hand out literature, to get people active and out, and then hopefully think, okay, now I can do that. Now maybe walking to school is also a good way to stay fit, stay healthy, stay active every day.
Have you ever participated in the 5K?
Well, I could.
Okay.
I
All right.
run the race, but I can't run the race because on that day, obviously, I'm very busy.
swamped.
Yeah.
We have, this year we had 825 registrants. That's up from 350 in 2009, so it's growing really fast. I'm coordinating 60 volunteers, trying to get, 850, 825 people to start line on time. And then I also coordinate it with the Takoma Park Police. They're very helpful. We have to close the road, etc. The Public Works Department helps me. The Rec Department assists. So it's really a city-wide event. Yeah.
Real team effort.
Yeah, it is a team effort.
Lucy, I know you said that there's training as far as for like the 5K.
Right.
So how does that go about?
Well, that's the beauty of the program. Each school is required to have an in-school program, and it can encompass anything related to pedestrian and bike safety, health, fitness, and usually the school has a running club. So for example, this year, East Silver Spring announced the running club. First day, 65 children and 17 adults showed up for the run club.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And at Piney Branch, they've had the run club for 4 years. Takoma Park Elementary has a run club that they do on weekends. The middle school ran all year. Their run club ran from September through race time. So, and then at Rolling Terrace, they did a lunchtime walking group. So every day, different teachers took a turn supervising the kids, and they did a walking route around the school during their recess after lunch. So it's been really successful. It's getting people active, getting people to think about fitness and being healthy.
We're going to have to run.
We will
We're
have
going to
to
have
run.
to get
We will
involved.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you grow up running or walking or commuting when you
I
were?
walked to school, yes, but no, I did not grow up running. I only started running about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I figured if I was going to ask all of these people to do this, I better be able to do it too. So I could do it,
Yeah.
but I don't run this particular race.
Lucy, how would you rate the commuting culture here in Takoma Park? 5 being the best and 1 being the lowest.
Well, Takoma Park is a walk-friendly community and also bike-friendly, and we're trying to do more to encourage that infrastructure-wise. If you want people to walk, you want to have sidewalks for them to walk on, right? So we're doing that. I think people are really open to it. If you observe any of the schools in the morning, it's like a parade. One year when we had walk to school day, at Piney Branch, the whole school walks. We meet remotely, and the buses even drop the kids off remotely. So the entire school walks together. And one child was walking along saying, I feel like I'm in a parade. I feel famous. And I said to him, walking to school might not make you feel famous every day, but it will make you feel good every day.
It's true.
Because kids, they like being out. They like being out in the morning. They like being with their parents walking to school. You often see them holding hands and talking. And so it's a really nice time of the day for families. And not everybody can walk every day. I understand that. Parents are busy. Sometimes they have to be at work earlier than the school start time, which at Piney Branch is 9:20. It's late, but there are ways to get around that. For example, the walking school bus is an idea where students or families can join together and decide maybe they're going to walk every Wednesday, and each Wednesday a different parent takes the responsibility of escorting the students to school, so that your child can walk every week on Wednesday, but you don't have to. You can still get to work on time. You choose only the one day to escort the kids. So there are different programs like that. You can do that also with bikes. It's called a bike train. You can walk one day a week, or you can walk every day and share that responsibility. There's a new program that I introduced this year. It hasn't quite gotten off the ground yet because these things take time, but next year I'm hoping that more people will sign on. It's called School Pool, and it's a matching service for parents. So you could sign on with your children, and it will show on a map where you live, and then you ask for a match list, and electronically it will show you other people who live right in your area. So then you can contact those families and say, would you like to organize a walking school bus or a bike train, or however, whatever logistics you want to arrange, you can get together with neighbors to walk to school together. So that's something that's coming up for next year that I'm really excited about. It's called School Pool.
School pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good to know. Really important to know for parents to know that resource is actually available to them.
Mm-hmm.
Really good to know.
A little bit earlier, you had made mention to a portion of funding going towards brochures and literature and things of that nature.
Right.
Is there any out now?
Well, I do a yearly newsletter.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that sort of tells the families, it goes home in the student backpacks, tells the families, what am I doing this year? What do they need to know right now about what I'm doing? I also have a brochure that's more of a long-term piece that they can refer to if they just need to know generally what Safe Routes is all about or how to get in touch with me. So usually I send out the newsletter right before the race because it includes a registration form. This year we did something exciting. We had our race registration form translated into Spanish and Amharic.
Oh.
So that was really exciting
Yeah.
and really nice to see the three languages, English, Spanish, and Amharic. And then on the Amharic one, I had to write, please complete the form in English, because then I was afraid, what if someone wrote it in Amharic, and it wouldn't really help me. So no, we did get some back in the various languages, so I know we were reaching those populations. So it was great. Yeah, it was really exciting to be able to do that. So the funding allows me to do that kind of thing, translate it, have it printed, and distribute it to different populations.
And I think we actually have a copy of the brochure here.
The
Yeah,
newsletter.
The newsletter. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the newsletter.
The newsletter's here.
Yeah.
And also in the back of the newsletter, there's two comparison charts here from 2008 and 2011. Could you talk to us about that as well?
Right. Okay, so one of the measures of the grant is that each year parents are asked to fill out a survey. Teachers are asked to fill out a tally sheet on practices on getting to school. So we've been doing this since 2007. Parents have complained, why am I filling out this same survey 2 times a year? Isn't it redundant? But really it's not. And I would ask parents to please fill out the survey and get it back to me, especially if you're walking or biking, because then we'll get the accurate data that we need. Safe Routes Takoma Park is countrywide one of the most successful programs in collecting this data, because I have done the survey twice a year since I started in 2007. So now I can look at aggregate data for the 5 years and the 5 schools, and I can show you that walking has increased over that time. So it's really nice to see, and I included that in the newsletter this time because I want parents to know that filling out the survey is important, and it really does help me. The other way that the survey helps me is there's a comment part on the survey where parents can say what's on their mind. So a lot of times they say, thank you to the Takoma Park crossing guards, we love you. And that's great, and I take all those comments and I send them to the police department because everybody wants to know when they're doing a good job.
Someone appreciates it.
Sometimes they say, we need a crossing guard at the junction. So I started noticing more and more parents were asking for a crossing guard at the junction. I knew that the Takoma Park Junction Task Force had been talking about issues of crossing the street at the junction. This was really important to these residents. So I shared that with the police too. They did an informal survey up there. Now 2 crossing guards have been hired as of April at the junction. So this is not entirely a direct result of the survey, but in part, I think the survey told us what we needed to know about that issue. So I encourage parents to do that, to fill out the survey for me.
When it comes to the survey, how do parents actually get them? Is it?
I send it home in the backpack. With every student,
Okay,
takes one
okay,
home.
And that's
So-
twice a year, right?
Twice a year, fall and spring. So check the backpacks.
When it comes to the crossing guards and the Safe Routes program, how connected are the crossing guards and the program?
Well, everybody knows that Takoma Park has the best crossing guards. I work with them have supplied equipment for them, reflective vests, reflective gloves, rain gear, whistles, things like that, to help keep them safe, because that's important, because they're keeping our kids safe every day of the school year. Every year I have a Crossing Guard Appreciation Day. It's a very low-key event, but really lovely, because the students are asked, families are asked, to just show some gratitude towards the Crossing Guards for a job well done during the course of the year. So they can bring homemade cards, flowers from the garden, some kind of treat, and we set up a table at each post, and as the families come to school and cross, they usually have lots of hugs all around, and then they leave something nice for the Crossing Guard each year. And it's really lovely. The Crossing Guards enjoy it. The parents and students are pleased to have a time when they can say thank you deliberately. I know they probably say thank you every day, because our guards do an excellent job. But it's nice to take that time out to show them how much we appreciate the work that they do every day, rain or shine, hot or cold. They're out there crossing the kids and keeping them safe.
And when did you say the Crossing Guard Appreciation?
It's usually in the spring.
In the spring.
Late
okay.
May, early June.
Okay. Earlier, you also mentioned one of the upcoming projects, and I might say it incorrectly, schools and pools?
School pool.
School pool.
Right.
Besides school pools, are there any other future projects that you all have planned?
Yes. This year, I would like to do a skateboarding safety workshop at the middle school. I've done it once. It was very successful. Maybe because I had Chipotle there for the kids, but maybe
yeah,
they came for the
Maybe.
lectures on
Yes.
skateboarding safety, which sort of seems like an oxymoron. Okay, skateboarding is inherently an activity where kids take a lot of risks. Okay, so I want kids to always wear a helmet when they're riding on a skateboard, and especially if they're transporting themselves to school on a skateboard. There is no brake on a skateboard.
No.
So this was a concern to me. 30 kids are skateboarding to Takoma Park Middle School. How do we keep them safe? So I invited a skateboarding advocate, the vice principal at Takoma Park Middle, who is a skateboarder himself, Takoma Park Police, and we talked with the kids openly about skateboarding to school and what would be some best practices, how they can get there safely. One student wore his helmet the whole time during the workshop
and the lectures?
And so at the end I thanked him. I said, you know, that was really great. You were a good example. You had your helmet on. And every time I said something about helmet use, he would sort of point to his helmet like this. So I thanked him, and he said, when you're styling, it's not embarrassing.
Hey, it's the truth. It's the truth.
It's so true. It's so true. And so, I wish that the style was to wear a helmet. Anytime you're on a bike or a skateboard, it's certainly the best practice. And
is that, sorry to cut you off,
yeah.
but is that still a very big concern, like a lack of pads and helmets and?
Yeah, helmet use is something that I spend a lot of time teaching kids about. I don't want to see kids on a bike or a skateboard without one. So when we do the bike rodeo at school, and when we did Bike to School Day recently, which was another fun event, I always do a demonstration of helmet fitting. At the bike rodeo, every student puts on a helmet and we adjust it to fit so they get the feeling. It's not going to work if it's not buckled. It's not going to work if it's like a bonnet or if it's covering your eyes. It has to be on just right. If they get the feeling of that when they're with me, maybe they go home, they adjust theirs, they know what it's supposed to feel like. They wear it. When I see kids around, I praise them when I see them with their helmet. I ask them, where is their helmet when they don't have it on? I try really hard to encourage that helmet use. We had Bike to School Day, May 9th, first time ever in Takoma Park. I piloted it at Piney Branch Elementary, and I told the police we might have 25, maybe 50 kids at tops. We met down at the Franklin Apartments at 7620 Maple Avenue and plan to ride together to school. 130 kids, 30 adults showed up on their bikes. There were a number without helmets, so I supplied probably 15 helmets to kids who showed up because I wasn't going to let them ride without. And they put them on. We all rode up to school together. It was really fun. We'll do that again, maybe at more schools next year. Try to encourage more bike use. We'll be putting the racks in. They'll have a place to put their bike when they get to school.
I really like the fact that you gave helmets. Instead of just turning away those 15 that didn't have helmets, you were like, you know what, this is the main purpose right here, you know, to wear your helmet.
Right.
So,
well, I
that was
partnered
really good.
with Safe Kids Montgomery County, which is a coalition of people who are concerned about injury prevention for students, also same age range, K to 8th grade. And one of the areas is bike safety and pedestrian safety. So I partnered with them. They supplied some of the helmets, and I had also some helmets supplied through the grant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was happy I was able to do that.
Have you ever seen a situation where those who may not have helmets probably didn't come, or may have somehow feel like
No, not so much. I've given away so many helmets over the
Yeah.
years.
Okay.
It's more that they don't think they're styling. So we have to get them to feel comfortable wearing it, using it every time they ride. Some kids think they only have to use it sometimes. So I try to encourage them to use a helmet every time they ride or skateboard.
Helmets save lives.
Yeah.
They definitely do. Yeah. Well, as far as your passion in this, what is it? What is your passion as far as what you do in your job?
You know, I'm really lucky because I get to do something that I love. I think that what I do is important. I do really truly want kids to walk and bike to school. I think it's better than riding in a car for a variety of reasons. It's good for them, it's good for their health. There have been studies that have proven that students who walk or bike to school or have some sort of physical activity in the morning do better during the course of the day, behavior-wise, academically. Okay, so that's really, you know, a side benefit, but wonderful. I think the city really does care. They want sidewalks in place for kids to walk. They want kids to be safe, you know. So I'm really lucky. I get to get out in the community. I love people. I love talking with people. I love encouraging them to do fun things. So, you know, what's more fun than riding your bike on a beautiful day or being part of a community event where over 800 people come out because they want to be fit and
That's
healthy,
true.
you know, so it's all good.
It goes along with Michelle Obama's initiative
Fit
to, you know,
initiative, yeah.
Well,
Physical
I'm so
fitness.
glad
To
you brought
reduce
that
obesity.
up. Yeah, her program, Let's Move, has taken notice of our program twice. We've been on her website. 2 of our events have made it to her website, her blog. Yeah, so that was
Congratulations.
exciting.
That's
Yeah, no, it was
exciting.
good.
Pretty
It was
big,
good.
yeah.
No, it was great. So, yeah, no, it's all, yes, very much compatible with her program and, you know, keeping kids healthy and safe.
Effectively, would it be safe to say that your most favorite part of the job is the people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do like getting out. I like working with the parents. I have a fantastic team of parents that helps me plan the 5K. We work from September to May, and you know, we work really hard, but we also have a great time. They come back year after year because they like it, they enjoy it, they are as excited about it as I am. So, you know, I love that. I like the young kids doing the crosswalk activity is fun. I like doing the rodeo with the older kids, you know, seeing them riding and paying attention and participating is really wonderful. The middle school kids, you know, sometimes are harder to reach They don't want to be told all the time what to do and how to do it, but you know, if you can get that message across, it's really important. And then another exciting program that I'll be doing next summer, 2013, is reaches another population, and that is students with special needs. There's a program called Lose the Training Wheels, which teaches students with special needs how to ride a bike. They'll be coming, this group, Lose the Training Wheels, to Takoma Park. I'll be inviting students who perhaps can't ride for one reason or another, who have special needs, to come every day over the course of a week. They have an 80% success rate. So I'm really excited about that. I'll be doing that next year, so look out for that.
Well, thank you very much, Lucy, for being here. We definitely appreciate your services, just keeping our community safer and our kids safer as well.
Thank you for
You're
coming.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
To learn more information on the Safe Routes to School program, you can visit tacomaparkmd.gov/safe_routes. I'm Regina Reese.
And I'm McKeely Brown. Thank you.
And have a great day.